Absolutely. Well, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, look at these numbers. 15% of high school students have reported using illicit drugs. That includes cocaine, inhalants, heroin, methamphetamines, hallucinogens, or ecstasy. And 14% of students say they have misused prescription opioids. That's high schoolers. Joining us now, licensed clinical social worker Kelly Kitley. Kelly, great to see you. I think a lot of parents, I'll speak for myself, it's hard to start the conversation in the first place when the kids are a little younger. How do you even bring it up?
Sure. So it is never too early to have that conversation first and foremost. And, the statistics that you just showed, some teenagers are even mixing those, and that can be very lethal. And so we do want to have an open and honest communication with our children. And we don't want to take a lecturing approach. Sometimes, I know for my kids, I have some of the best conversations when I'm driving and they're in the passenger seat. And I get really curious. I ask questions, what are they being exposed to? What are they seeing in their school? A lot of times they'll try to change the subject because it makes them feel uncomfortable, but at least they know that I'm opening the conversation and it's not a one-time deal. We need to revisit this conversation multiple times throughout middle school, high school, college, and young adulthood.
I love that. I mean, can we break down having the conversation with different age groups, maybe starting with middle school? How do you go about discussing drug use, avoiding it? What are the points parents should be getting across?
Oh my goodness. Well, they certainly are exposed to way more than we ever were. And when we're starting in middle school, kids are exposed to some kind of sleep aids. I know some parents will use melatonin or they will take pain, Tylenol or Advil. And we want to make sure that we're monitoring that, asking them what they already know about drugs at school. Are they noticing any peer pressure at school? Are people asking them to do things that they don't want to do? And certainly it's important to come up with a stock answer and role play with our kids. What kind of response are we giving when somebody does ask us if we want to participate in alcohol or drug use?
Yeah.
And when you move to high schoolers, I think the conversation gets a little different, right? Because now you're pretty sure they are really being exposed. What do you say then? What do you talk about then?
So we really want to talk about consequences because sometimes these kids think that they're invincible and, oh, I'm just going to try it once. Well, that one time could be a game changer. And so we really want to educate them about, who they're hanging around with, not mixing any kind of drugs. A lot of our kids are on medication for anxiety, depression. And so it's really important that they know what the consequences are of mixing things. And certainly, most importantly, set expectations for them and what the consequences are and be a positive role model.
Right. I mean, and you're talking about an education for the young people. It's also an education for the parents. What should parents watch out for in terms of signs your young one might be using drugs or alcohol, especially as they navigate, different rules and laws in different states?
Absolutely. So we really want to notice if there's any change in behavior. Maybe they're isolating more. Maybe they're running out of money more quickly at college because they're spending money on drugs. Maybe they are having an interruption in sleep, maybe sleeping too much or not at all. And we really want to make sure we take an approach with them, addressing the situation and saying, hey,
Yeah.
I've noticed a shift in your behavior.
Such good tips. Kelly Kitley, always good to have you. Thank you so much.
There's much more news ahead.
You're watching Daily.